Hello, and welcome back to Foos Entertainment for the last 4 reviews of HorrorFest 2024. This video will be a little bit longer because this is also going to be an unboxing as well. And that is of Hellraiser, the Quantum of Torment 4K UHD box set. Look at that. That's beautiful looking right there. Go ahead and take a look at the back. Contents out. First, you have this really wonderful book that's full of photos. There's actually no text in here. It's all really just photos from all 4 of the original theatrical Hellraiser films. Now, this is where it gets really cool. It's the real contents. As you can see, there's little holes right here. You pull that out, and it exposes that. As you can see, there's still pins inside of the head. Then you lift that up, and the skeleton is underneath. And of course, you have the tap line, "I am in hell, help me." And of course, on the inside, my favorite line from the Hellraiser films, and I'll actually say it with Pinhead's voice. "We have such sights to show you." Or should I say, I have such sights to show you. And of course, the discs. The chains. Very, very cool. Put this all back together, and then we'll start talking about the first movie. Well, as Pinhead would say, if you trick us, will tear your soul apart. Well, let's talk about Hellraiser from 1987. I will be going over the plot of the film, the relative opinion of the film, my opinion of the film, what I think about the catalog quality of the 4K release. This is part of this box set, and an overall ranking for the film and how great I think the film is. All right. Hellraiser basically is about a married couple who move back into the husband's family home in a New England town, to where the wife discovers basically a reanimated corpse of her brother-in-law, who is a criminal by the name of Frank. Well, Frank has a big story. He has been resurrected from hell. He has to do with a mysterious box known as the Lamont configuration. And when you solve this puzzle, the puzzle in this box, you summon hell. And you have these demons known as Cenobites that will come and take your soul. Well, he escaped hell. And he convinces our wife, which of course is the character of Julia, to go ahead and bring him victims so that he can feed off of them. So he can get his strength and, regrow his flesh and bones and all that. Well, the daughter, here's our main character. His name is Kirsty. Discovers the box, opens it, and makes a deal with the Cenobites to go ahead and take Frank back to hell in exchange to leave her soul alone. Well, very, very ahead of his time, this film. Well, the world's opinion. Hellraiser has been looked at as one of the best horror films ever made, and one of the most iconic horror films ever made. And this is a little different from Jason and Freddy and Michael, is the fact that Pinhead kind of goes in between, our main boogeyman of these horror films, known as the Hellraiser films. It's kind of like an in-between sci-fi and horror, and it gets even more like that with the sequels. The Hellraiser, to me, is just this is where it goes in my opinion, it's just a damn good overall straight horror film. It's not even a slasher film. It is mostly a horror film. There is some slashing in the film. Like, our main villain, which is Julia. Although I would say Frank's the main villain. Julia is kind of the second main villain. When she brings Frank victims, yes, I guess that kind of makes it somewhat of a slasher film. But ultimately, at the end of the day, Clive Barker's Hellraiser is a straight-up horror film. And that's refreshing. Especially in the 80s, to where we just had a slasher film after slasher film after slasher film. We didn't really get many straight-up true horror films like Hellraiser. And I remember every single time I watched this movie when I was growing up, I was so intrigued by it. The first film, I would definitely have to say, is the best of the franchise, which is something I don't usually say about the first movie in a franchise. But I do say that about this one. I actually do revisit the first Hellraiser film more than I do any of the sequels. Now let's talk about the quality. For somebody who has seen Hellraiser so many times, and somebody who actually reviewed the original limited edition box set, which is the Scarlet Box from Arrow Video as well, which is the people that released this box set. And because this is the quality segment part of it, the review, I can talk about that. The same process was done with this box set. Just like the Scarlet Box, this box set was released in the United Kingdom in 2023. And you could only get it in the United Kingdom. And a year later, it gets released in the United States of America and Canada. And that's now why you can get it. But it is a limited edition, much like the Scarlet Box was. So I would get your hands on it while supplies last. Now let's talk about the 4K quality. This is a major upgrade. And again, when this came out in the UK in 2023, there was a mixed feelings about it because, like I said with Nightmare on Elm Street 40th anniversary, I cannot stress enough. If you really want to see how much work is put into these new 4K restorations, you need to have Dolby Vision capabilities on your display to go along with the HDR10, because Dolby Vision plus HDR10 really does make it look better. And this even goes for streaming. And that's definitely the case with Hellraiser. Clive Barker's Hellraiser looks amazing in 4K. It was like watching the movie for the first time all over again. And I've seen this movie probably 50, 60 times in my lifetime. And it's quite literally like watching it for the first time over again with this new 4K release that I just watched. The sound quality is pretty much the same, but I'll be honest with you though, I think the sound quality was actually enhanced a little bit. I think the 5.1 DTS HDMA, although it might be the same, it doesn't sound like it's the same. It sounds like there's actually a little bit more going on in the sound mix. So don't be surprised if you have a lot more interesting effects flying around in your sound system when you watch this movie. So yeah, I give it very good high ends on the 4K quality. Now a ranking of the film. All right, well, a ranking of the film. This is a straight up 4 stars. This is a 100% perfect movie. You can't get better than this. It is a 100% perfect horror film. So it does get my 4 stars, my 4-star rating. So, if you haven't seen Hellraiser, and you can get your hands on this box set, But even if you can't, you just watch it on streaming, or you get the regular Blu-ray that came out before Arrow got the rights to these 4 films, then go ahead and watch it, because it's definitely a good watch. So I say check it out, and I will see you on the next review.